In the heart of Savannah, Georgia, the year was 1964, a time when hope and determination filled the air. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm glow on the historic church, where people gathered for a significant event. Inside, the atmosphere buzzed with a mixture of anticipation and reverence. Rows of wooden pews were filled with families dressed in their Sunday best, their faces reflecting both excitement and nervous energy. The scent of polished wood and fresh flowers mingled with the gentle hum of conversation, echoing softly off the stained glass windows. These colorful panels told stories of faith and resilience, mirroring the struggles and aspirations of the people inside. On this day, they had come not just for worship but to witness a powerful moment that would mark their community forever. As the congregation settled, the air became thick with expectation. Today was special. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was in town to deliver a message of hope and unity. His presence brought a sense of empowerment to both young and old, reminding them that they were part of something much larger than themselves, a movement striving for equality and justice. Outside, the street teemed with onlookers curious about the gathering. Some stood close to the entrance, eager to catch a glimpse of Dr. King or perhaps hear his voice. Others waited anxiously, wondering if they would be able to enter and share in this momentous occasion. With the church's heavy wooden doors ajar, the sounds from within spilled out into the street. Hymns sung with passion and prayers whispered fervently filled the air. It was a time that held promise, as every heart inside beat in sync with hope for a brighter future. Everyone sensed that something important was about to unfold, drawing them all together in a tapestry of shared dreams and aspirations. As the congregation settled into their seats, a figure approached the church entrance with a mix of determination and trepidation. Reggie Parks, a 35-year-old man, stood outside the heavy wooden doors, his heart racing. He had faced many challenges in life, but today felt different. Today, he wanted to be part of something greater, a moment that could change everything. Reggie was known in his neighborhood as a kind and hardworking man. He had always been dedicated to his family, doing his best to provide for them despite the obstacles that often stood in his way. Whether it was finding stable work or overcoming personal struggles, Reggie had learned to keep pushing forward. But today, as he faced the crowd gathered to see Dr. King, he felt vulnerable and exposed. The onlookers outside noticed Reggie's hesitation. Some exchanged glances, their curiosity piqued by the sight of him standing at the entrance. Was he waiting for someone? Did he need help? Whispers filled the air as people wondered what might be holding him back. The energy of the crowd buzzed with concern, their hearts aching for Reggie as they sensed he was grappling with something significant. Each moment stretched on as Reggie took a deep breath, summoning his courage. He looked into the church's inviting light, where hope and unity awaited him inside. Yet, the fear of being seen struggling weighed heavily on him. As he stood there, the crowd's murmurs faded into the background, replaced by the sound of his own heartbeat echoing in his ears. In that pivotal moment, he realized he was not alone. The community was ready to embrace him. Unbeknownst to him, this moment would soon become a part of a larger story, one that would touch many hearts. As the minutes ticked by, the energy in the church grew palpable, an electric mix of hope and anticipation coursing through the crowd. Families sat shoulder to shoulder, their eyes fixed on the pulpit where Dr. King would soon speak. Children whispered excitedly to their parents, while older folks exchanged knowing glances, each person aware that this gathering was about more than just a sermon. It was a moment of unity in a time of struggle. The air felt thick with emotion, as if everyone present shared a collective heartbeat. People held hands, some bowing their heads in prayer, while others simply gazed toward the front with eager expressions. The vibrant colors of their clothing mirrored the diversity within the room, showcasing a community coming together despite the challenges they faced outside those walls. Outside, Reggie Parks stood at the entrance, watching this scene unfold before him. He could hear the faint strains of music filtering through the doors, hymns that spoke of strength and resilience. Each note seemed to beckon him closer, urging him to step over the threshold and join in this powerful moment. Yet he hesitated, feeling both drawn to and intimidated by the energy radiating from inside. As he took a deep breath, Reggie noticed how the crowd reacted to each sound from within. Every rustle of paper or shuffle of feet drew their attention. They were like a single entity, holding their breath as they waited for Dr. King to deliver his message. Their anticipation created an atmosphere that was almost tangible. It wrapped around them like a warm embrace. With every passing moment, it became clear that something extraordinary was about to happen. The congregation's hope hung in the air like a promise of change and togetherness that resonated deeply with everyone present. Little did they know that Reggie's journey would soon intertwine with this powerful moment, creating a memory that would linger long after the final words were spoken. As the atmosphere inside the church reached a fever pitch of excitement, the heavy wooden doors swung open, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stepped inside. His presence seemed to command the room, as if time itself had paused to acknowledge the man who had become a beacon of hope for countless people across the nation. Dressed in a sharp suit, his gaze was steady, and his warm smile radiated strength and compassion. The crowd erupted into applause, their cheers echoing off the walls like a chorus of encouragement. Faces lit up with admiration as they looked at a leader who had dedicated his life to fighting for equality and justice. In that moment, Dr. King embodied all their dreams and aspirations, representing their collective struggle against oppression. As he made his way toward the pulpit, he greeted familiar faces with nods and waves, recognizing those who had stood by him in the fight for civil rights. Each step he took reinforced the bond between him and the community gathered there. It was clear that he was not just a leader but also a friend, a source of inspiration that connected them all. Reggie Parks watched from outside, feeling a mix of awe and longing. The intensity of Dr. King's arrival filtered through the door like rays of sunlight breaking through clouds. Reggie's heart raced at the thought of being part of this moment. He could see how much Dr. King meant to those inside, how his words had the power to uplift spirits and ignite hope. As Dr. King reached the front of the church, he paused for a moment, taking in the sea of faces staring back at him with unwavering belief. The silence that followed signaled that everyone was ready to listen. He was about to deliver a message that would resonate far beyond those walls, one that emphasized courage, unity, and the promise of change amidst adversity. Little did Reggie know that he would soon be drawn into this significant moment, forever altering the course of his journey. As the sounds of applause and excitement swelled from inside the church, Reggie Parks stood at the entrance, his heart pounding. The moment felt monumental, yet he found himself rooted to the spot, grappling with a whirlwind of emotions. The heavy wooden doors loomed before him, symbolizing both opportunity and fear. He wanted desperately to join the congregation inside, but his body felt paralyzed by anxiety. Reggie took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm of thoughts racing through his mind. Memories of past struggles flashed before him, battles with self-doubt, moments of failure, and times when he had felt invisible in a world that often overlooked people like him. Today was different. He could feel it in the air. Yet, the weight of expectation pressed down on him like a heavy blanket. What if he didn't belong? What if everyone inside looked at him and saw only his flaws? Glancing around, Reggie noticed the faces of the crowd outside. Their expressions were filled with hope and anticipation. They were here for Dr. King, but they were also here for each other. This gathering was a testament to resilience, a collective stand against adversity. He was reminded that he wasn't alone in this struggle. Everyone had their own battles to fight. Summoning all his courage, Reggie stepped forward, one foot in front of the other. With each step, he reminded himself that perseverance was about facing fears head-on. His heart raced as he finally reached the door, feeling its solid frame beneath his hand. He pushed it open, letting the warmth and light from within wash over him like a wave. Inside, the atmosphere enveloped him, a blend of warmth, unity, and strength. The moment he crossed that threshold marked a turning point in his journey. Reggie felt a surge of determination as he realized that this was not just about witnessing history but being a part of it. With renewed hope and the support of the community behind him, he moved forward into a new chapter of his life. As the crowd settled into a hushed anticipation, Dr. King stood at the pulpit, his presence radiating confidence and compassion. He began to speak, his voice weaving together stories of struggle and hope that resonated deeply with everyone in the room. Each word he delivered seemed to lift spirits, igniting a flame of determination in the hearts of those listening. But amidst this powerful moment, something caught his eye. From the corner of his gaze, Dr. King noticed Reggie Parks, who had just entered the church, looking both hopeful and apprehensive. The sight stirred something within him, a deep understanding of the challenges faced by individuals striving for change. Without hesitation, Dr. King paused mid-sentence, his compassion driving him to act. He stepped away from the pulpit, leaving behind the carefully crafted speech that had been prepared for this occasion. Instead of continuing to speak to the congregation from afar, he chose to walk down the aisle toward Reggie. The movement sent ripples of surprise through the church. People turned their heads in curiosity as they witnessed this unexpected act. As Dr. King approached Reggie, a silence fell over the room, a stillness filled with awe and reverence for what was unfolding. It was clear that this was not merely about words being spoken but about connection and support. Dr. King reached out, lifting Reggie into his arms with a gentle strength that spoke volumes. This moment encapsulated everything Dr. King stood for: compassion, leadership, and an unwavering commitment to uplifting others. The congregation held its breath as they watched this act of kindness unfold before them. It was a reminder that true leadership meant being present for those in need and recognizing the shared humanity among all people. In that single instant, Reggie felt embraced not just by a leader but by a community ready to stand together in solidarity and strength. The church erupted into a wave of emotion, tears were shed, smiles exchanged, and hearts opened wider than ever before. This was not just a significant moment, it was a powerful lesson in empathy and unity that would resonate long after the day ended. In that charged moment, as Dr. King reached Reggie Parks, the air in the church thickened with emotion. Every eye was glued to the two men, waiting in anticipation. The hush of silence spread like a wave, overtaking the congregation as they became witnesses to an act that transcended words. Dr. King's gentle yet powerful presence brought about a connection that resonated throughout the room, embodying a spirit of unity and support. With a firm yet tender grip, Dr. King lifted Reggie into his arms. It was not merely a physical action but a profound statement of solidarity. The symbolism was striking. Here was a leader who understood the struggles of his community, embracing an individual who felt lost yet hopeful. Reggie's heart raced as he felt the warmth of Dr. King's support surround him. This wasn't just a personal moment. It stood for all those who had endured hardships and challenges. The congregation collectively inhaled, a mix of awe and admiration evident on their faces. A wave of emotion swept through the church. Tears glistened in eyes that reflected both joy and recognition of the importance of this moment. Each member could feel the power of unity take root within their hearts as they witnessed Dr. King lift someone up, symbolizing the strength they could gain together. As Dr. King held Reggie high, it was as if he was lifting the hopes and dreams of everyone present. The crowd erupted into cheers, their voices merging into a chorus of encouragement that echoed off the walls. This single act became a beacon of hope, illustrating the profound connection shared among community members. Reggie looked out at the faces filled with admiration and support, realizing he was no longer alone in his journey. Dr. King's actions spoke volumes about compassion and leadership, reminding everyone that, together, they could rise above their challenges and strive for a brighter future. This moment would linger in their hearts long after the day's events had ended, forever etching itself into the story of a community united by perseverance and love. As Dr. King held Reggie in his arms, an almost tangible silence enveloped the church, creating a sacred space where time seemed to stand still. The applause that had filled the air moments before faded into a hushed reverence, allowing the weight of the moment to settle deeply upon every heart present. It was as if each member of the congregation collectively held their breath, allowing this extraordinary scene to fully sink in. Faces turned toward Dr. King and Reggie with wide eyes, absorbing the significance of what they were witnessing. The silence transformed into a powerful backdrop for the emotions swirling within the room. Feelings of hope, empathy, and connection surged among them like a tide. Each person felt the gravity of Dr. King's actions, understanding that this was not merely a gesture but a profound statement about community and shared struggle. In that stillness, the church felt alive with unspoken words and shared understandings. Hearts beat loudly in unison, echoing the collective longing for change and unity. The absence of sound allowed individuals to reflect on their own journeys, the hardships they had faced, and to recognize how they were all intertwined in this fight for equality. Reggie, cradled in Dr. King's embrace, felt a wave of comfort wash over him. It was a moment that transcended his personal struggles. He knew he was not just being lifted as an individual but also as a representative of countless others who felt marginalized and overlooked. The silence amplified this realization, transforming it into a beacon of hope for those yearning for justice and acceptance. As the seconds passed, the atmosphere became charged with possibility. This moment would be etched into their memories, not just as an event but as a reminder that together they could overcome challenges. The profound silence encapsulated the essence of their shared humanity, binding them together in a collective dream for a brighter future. It was a powerful lesson in unity and perseverance that would resonate long after they left the church that day. As the church began to stir once more after the profound silence, murmurs of reflection filled the air among the attendees. Faces were illuminated by emotion, tears glistening in their eyes as they shared their thoughts on what they had just witnessed. Each person processed the moment in their own unique way, but a common thread of hope and inspiration wove through their words. "Did you see how Dr. King lifted him?" one woman whispered to a friend, her voice trembling with excitement. "It was like he was lifting all of us, giving us strength." Her words resonated with those nearby, as many nodded in agreement, feeling the weight of his actions reflect their own struggles and aspirations. An older man stood quietly at the back, his hands clasped tightly together. He gazed at Dr. King and Reggie, memories of his own past flooding back. "This is what we fight for," he said softly to himself, believing deeply that moments like these could ignite change. His heart swelled with pride knowing that together as a community, they could rise above adversity. Nearby, a group of young people exchanged glances filled with determination. They spoke animatedly about how Dr. King represented their dreams, a vision for a future where equality was not just a distant hope but a tangible reality. "We can be part of this," one young woman declared, her voice filled with newfound conviction. "We can make a difference." As laughter and tears mingled, the shared experience united them further. They each felt inspired to carry this moment beyond the church walls into their everyday lives, determined to spread the message of love and solidarity that Dr. King exemplified. The atmosphere inside the church shifted from silence to a vibrant energy, an echoing belief that together they could push forward in their pursuit of justice and equality. This collective hope ignited a fire within each attendee. They knew that Dr. King's actions had not only created a significant moment, but had sparked an enduring movement that would resonate for generations to come. In the days and weeks that followed the church gathering, the memory of Dr. King's actions lingered in the hearts of those present. It became more than just a moment in time, it transformed into a powerful symbol of kindness, leadership, and collective strength. Attendees often found themselves reflecting on how Dr. King's willingness to step away from his speech and embrace Reggie Parks represented a profound commitment to compassion and unity. Many considered this incident an integral part of their personal stories, something they could carry within them as a source of inspiration. They spoke about it in their homes, shared it with friends, and brought it into discussions about their ongoing struggles for equality. Children who had witnessed the event grew up with the story of how one man's kindness set off ripples of change, fostering a belief that they could stand up for what was right. Reggie Parks himself often reflected on that day, understanding that Dr. King's gesture had altered the trajectory of his life. No longer burdened by doubt, he felt empowered to take action within his own community. Inspired by the kindness shown to him, he became an advocate for change, encouraging others to step forward in solidarity and support. The impact of that moment resonated far beyond the church walls, influencing future generations who would come to know Dr. King not only as a leader but as a symbol of hope and collective resolve. The lingering feelings of joy, solidarity, and purpose forged a community where each member felt valued and connected. Ultimately, the gathering was not just about witnessing a significant event, it was about experiencing a pivotal lesson in compassion and determination. With hearts united in hope, those present left ready to carry forward Dr. King's message, a legacy that would inspire activism and foster love for years to come, reminding them all that together they could create lasting change in their world.